It was a gray and rainy afternoon in the small town of Windermere. The streets were slick with water, puddles reflecting traffic lights that blinked lazily in the mist. People hurried along, heads down, umbrellas up, trying to escape the cold drizzle. But on one corner of the high street, something extraordinary was unfolding. A woman stood clutching the hand of a young boy, no older than 6. His other arm held tightly onto a worn teddy bear, its fur soaked from the rain. The woman, clearly distraught, looked helpless as a man in a suit shouted angrily at her, pointing a finger in accusation. His face was red, his mouth wide open, his tone harsh. The boy looked down, his lip trembling. The world seemed to pass them by without a glance until a dog stopped. A German shepherd, eyes alert and ears perked, stood still in the middle of the road. Behind him was a man in his 30s, holding the leash loosely. The dog tugged slightly, stopping the man mid-step. The dog's eyes were locked onto the boy, his posture calm but intent. The man followed the dog's gaze. He took in the scene, the frightened boy, the shouting man, the exhausted mother. Without hesitation, he stepped forward. "Is everything all right here?" he asked, his voice calm but firm. The man in the suit turned abruptly. "This is none of your business," he barked, still furious. But the stranger didn't back away. "I disagree," he said gently. "That boy looks scared. And you look like you're scaring him." The mother looked at the stranger with a mixture of surprise and hope. Her lips parted as if to speak, but the man in the suit cut her off. "I'm his uncle," he snapped. "She's a mess. She's got no job, no home, she can't care for him. I'm taking the boy." End of story. The boy gripped his teddy bear tighter and pressed himself against his mother's side. She knelt down to hold him. "Please," she whispered, "just give me one more week. I've found a place. I just need time." The stranger's dog whined softly. The man crouched beside him, resting a hand on the animal's neck. "He's got a nose for these things," he said, almost to himself. "He knows when someone's in pain." The woman looked up at the stranger. "Your dog," he stopped. Like he knew. "He always knows," the man replied. "He was a rescue dog. We both know what it feels like to be left behind." The man in the suit scoffed, but the stranger ignored him. He turned to the woman. "Where will you stay tonight?" I'm not sure. The shelter is full again. We were just going to keep walking until we found a dry place." The stranger nodded. "There's a cafe around the corner. They let dogs in, and the owner's got a kind heart. I'll take you there. You can warm up, have something to eat, and figure out your next move. My mate runs a community outreach center, I'm sure he can help you get settled quicker." The uncle glared. "This is ridiculous. She's not fit." But the boy interrupted for the first time. His voice was small but clear. "I want to stay with Mum." The stranger looked at him kindly. "You're brave, mate. And you're not alone." The uncle's shoulders slumped. Perhaps it was the dog's steady gaze, or the kindness in the stranger's tone, but something shifted. With a grunt, he muttered, "Fine. But this isn't over." And with that, he turned and stormed off down the street, his shouting fading into the rain. The woman stood up, blinking back tears. "Thank you. I didn't even get your name." "I'm Luke," the man said, smiling. "And this guy here is Ranger." The boy looked at the dog and reached out a tentative hand. Ranger nuzzled his fingers gently, tail wagging. The boy smiled for the first time. At the cafe, steaming mugs of cocoa were placed before them. The boy sat cuddling Ranger, the teddy bear on his lap. The woman, whose name was Emma, spoke quietly with Luke about her situation. She had lost her job after a company downsizing, then her flat when she couldn't make rent. Her family was gone, and her only brother, the angry uncle, had little sympathy. Luke listened patiently. "I've seen a lot," he said. "People think kindness is weakness. But it's the strongest thing in the world. Don't give up." By the time they left the cafe, arrangements had been made. Luke's friend from the outreach center offered Emma and her son a place to stay, a small, warm flat meant for families in transition. There was even a promise of work at the local animal shelter, where Emma could help with feeding and walking the dogs. As they stepped outside, the rain had stopped. The sun was pushing through the clouds, and for the first time in days, the boy let go of his teddy bear and held Ranger's leash instead. "Will we see you again?" he asked Luke. Luke smiled. "Ranger and I are always around. Just follow the wagging tail."